Limited edition number 21. This is the first limited edition where I'm going to be doing video content as well as the written content for my draft. Hopefully you all like it. I'm a bit inexperienced with video content, so hopefully you guys can help me out if there's any issues. But let's jump into a queue. I'm enjoying Amonkhet so far. This is an Amonkhet draft. So we've got a little bit of a lag happening here. There we go. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying it as well. So I'm not planning to give up the written portion of my articles just yet. We'll see how all this goes. I'm only going to be recording the draft. I'm not going to be recording the matches. In my experience, most people are more interested in watching the actual draft play out rather than the games themselves. And so with this, you'll be able to see what my thoughts are going into the draft and a bit more detail than what I can do in writing. So let's have a look here. So Crocodile the Crossing, pretty good card. 5/4 with haste, 4/3 with haste for 4 mana by itself. Also got Cartouche of Strength, which is a very good card, fight card. So it's probably going to be one of these two green cards, I think. We got Start to Finish. It's not great. Used that at the pre-release and it was extremely good. Glorious End, definitely not a card that I'm going to be playing in limited anytime soon. I think I'm just going to take the green Cartouche here. It's a fight card, so it's removal. It gives +1/+1 and trample. It's a pretty good card. You can 2-for-1 yourself, but you get that back if you can remove a creature. So I'm going to take the Cartouche. What next? So Merciless Javelineer is actually a pretty good card, I think. And it's decent in a black-red. Cartouche of Zeal and another Cartouche of Strength. So I could take a second Cartouche of Strength here. There's a Splendid Agony. It's okay. I haven't been overly impressed with this so far. It kills a few things, but it's just a little bit clunky. So I haven't been really impressed with it. Gustwalker is pretty good. It's a 2/2, it's a bear, basically, at the start of the game. And then when you need to go over the top of things, it can. I'm actually going to take a second Cartouche of Strength, though. Let's see if we can cut off green a little bit. What do we got here? Final Reward. So that's a third pick Final Reward. So I'm pretty happy about that. Impeccable timing. It's okay if you need removal. It's not great. It's definitely not Final Reward. Naga Vitalist is another good one. It's also green. I've already got 2 green cards. I think I'm just going to have to take Final Reward and see if I can move into black. Must have been some good cards in the previous 2 packs for people to be taking that over the Final Reward. It's just a good card that removes anything in the format. Well, almost anything. There's hexproof common creature. Hopefully this isn't going to be one of those slow drafts where you sit around and wait for everyone. Looking like it might be. Alright, Dispossess is pretty bad. Faith of the Devoted, haven't played with it yet. Don't mind a Giant Spider. It's just got a lot of toughness, which is difficult for things to get through. There's a lot of 3 power. Dune Beetle. I think I'm just going to take the Giant Spider here and stay in green. It's on colour. There's really nothing else I'm overly interested in. Alright. No. Doom Dissenter is just okay. It's actually not bad if you can get the -1/-1 counter deck going in these 2 colours. Fanbearer, I don't mind Fanbearer. And it's decent. If you read my article last week, you'll see that I used it as a zombie in my zombie deck that I went 3/0 with. I think Fanbearer is just better than Doom Dissenter, so I'm going to take Fanbearer. There's nothing really else that stands out, so Fanbearer it is. Doom Dissenters seem to be a little bit undervalued. If you've got some sacrifice outlets, or as I said, the black deck with -1/-1 counters, it seems to be a pretty good card. So we've got another Giant Spider here. There's a Scaredy Cat. Horror of the Broken Lands is decent. Stinging Shot. It actually looks like a sideboard card, but it's actually pretty good with its cycling. It's never dead in your hand. You can just draw a card off of it. I think I'm going to take... I'm going to take Horror of the Broken Lands. Black's just slightly better than the white at the moment. Well, there's really not much. Another Giant Spider. Minotaur Sure Shot is actually pretty good. 2/3 for 3 with reach, and there's a mana sink late in the game as well. I haven't seen much else in red, I don't think, yet. There's another Giant Spider, another Horror. Might just take another Horror. Cycle it away if it's too early in the game. Yeah, Horror it is. Cycle it away if it's too early in the game, and get rid of it, draw a card. Again, not really much I'm interested in here. May just take the Miasmic Mummy. Yep. It's not a great card, but it'll do. Pouncing Cheetah is going to be the card for us here. Hazel Pollen's useless. Even as a Fog, cycles for 3 mana is not good. So Pouncing Cheetah. Fogs aren't good in general in Limited. That one, if it was 2 mana, it might be actually playable, but 3 mana, it's not. I don't think we'll be playing Fanbearer at this stage. So Black Green's normally a -1/-1 counter synergy deck. I haven't got any -1/-1 counters at all at the moment, so that's not brilliant. I'm not overly happy about that, but we'll see if we can make this work anyway. Alright, so here we've got Blighted Bat or Painful Lesson. I think I like Blighted Bat better. Yeah. It's nothing special. It's a 2/1 flyer for 3 mana, or a 2/1 flyer with haste for 4 mana. It's nothing great, but and it's a 3-drop. It works. We've got nothing here whatsoever. A loop. It's a bit of an indication to people that I'm not playing those 3 colours. So we've got 3 removal spells at the moment. Some mediocre creatures. So we really need some good creatures. We've got some decent removal. We're not going to be playing that. It's just not useful. We'll take Dune Beetle. Probably better in a blue-black defensive deck, to be honest, but if we need to play it, we'll play it. Actually takes -1/-1 counters quite well, so it could be decent if we can get some of that synergy going. Nothing worse than waiting for slow drafters. We won't be playing that, but we won't be playing the green card either. Sure. I'm enjoying this draft format so far. I've played a little bit with it. As you saw from my article last week, I went 3-0 with the zombies. I have actually drafted a green-black deck. Unfortunately, it went pretty horribly, and I went 0-3 with it. Actually didn't win a game, which was not brilliant. That was my first draft of the format, actually. Sorry, my second draft. My first draft was the white-black deck. Hopefully this green-black deck will do a little bit better than what the last one did. The last one actually had a problem in that it didn't have any -1/-1 counter synergy either, which is really what green-black wants to be doing. And this one's looking very similar to that to start off with. Alright. Heaven to Earth is not a bad card, but the Earth side is better. We're not going to be playing red. We've got Spring to Mind, which we really don't want here either. Trial of Zeal, it's a very good card. Blighted Bat, another Blighted Bat. Horror of the Broken Lands, Greatest Sandworm. I think the choice here is actually out of Trial of Zeal and Greatest Sandworm. We've actually got two cartouches already, which can turn this into a repeatable lightning bolt, essentially, or the 3 mana. Could be reasonably easy to splash if we can pick up some fixing. Greatest Sandworm is also a very, very powerful creature that cycles early on. I'm not 100% sure which way the best way to go here is. It's possible we'll pick up a Greatest Sandworm later, but it's also possible we won't end up playing Trial of Zeal. So, I'm actually going to take the Sandworm and play safe. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you gain 1 life, then you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Oh no, that's the one that looks for a card that doesn't exist yet, so we won't be taking that. So we're going to the final reward. We've also got Colossopede, Horror of the Broken Lands, and Painful Lesson. Final reward's the best card in the pack, so we're going to take another one of those. Now at the moment, you'll notice it's looking like we're very heavy on 5-drops here, which we are, but having said that, 2 of them have cycling, so we can get rid of them if we're stuck with them early in our hands. Now, speaking of -1/-1 counters, we've got something here. So when Soul Stinger enters the battlefield, you put 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. So it's a 2/3 for 4 by itself. Whenever it dies, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature for each -1/-1 counter on Soul Stinger. So it can be removal. We've got a Canyon Slough there as well, which actually works in our deck. These are actually pretty good. If they're on colour, even just one of the colours, they're actually fine. There's a Magma Spray, Quarry Hauler, which we haven't got any synergy with at all at the moment, and a Wasteland Scorpion. Actually going to take the Wasteland Scorpion here, I think. 2/2 Death Touch. It's not too bad. Bad Lotus, as myself and my local group have been calling it. We won't be taking that. There's really not much in here either. Initiate's Companion, which dies very easily. Another Dune Beetle, which I don't really want to play 2 of. Although, having a defensive ground creature, we actually are very defensive at the moment. If we can actually end up with some high end, it might be alright. So I'm going to take the Dune Beetle, I think. So we can end up getting to our 5-drops. Yeah, I'm going to take the Dune Beetle. Just hard to kill. I don't know if I want another Dune Beetle though. We possibly could take Cradle of the Curse. That's not brilliant, but there's really nothing in the pack. There's actually an Electrify in here. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I do splash red. It's going to be a fair bit of removal. I'm actually going to take Electrify. It's a bit odd that that's there. Grimstrider is pretty good, although if we're going to play defensively, it's not that good. Cursed Minotaur is good. 3/2 Menace, hard to block. And again, we've still got no synergy with Quarry Hauler. So I'm going to take the Minotaur. That was a late Electrify. I'm happy to play Jund colours if that's what it comes to, as long as I can pick up some fixing. Kind of wish I took that Canyon Slough now though. for being very, very handy in this situation. Another giant spider. Miasmic Mummy, Cradle. Now that I'm looking at possibly splashing for red, I really don't want it to stretch my mana base by having a colourless mana creator, so I'm going to just take another giant spider here. Alright. Shed Weakness, Spidery Grasp. In the right deck, that's just Giant Growth. Basically gives your creature +3/+3 if you've got -1/-1 counters on it. We don't have any of that synergy whatsoever at this point. However, it's a 1 mana trick as opposed to a 3 mana trick, so I'm actually going to take it. The deck's looking okay. It's nothing special. We've got a fair bit of removal. It's possible we won't even end up playing Electrify simply because of the fact that we've already got 2 final rewards and 2 cartouches. But we'll see what happens. Some more big, beefy creatures. Maybe a bomb rare in one of the 2 colours. The Black Demon would be very, very nice. Seems we've hit that wall again where we've got the slow drafters. Obviously taking their time considering their picks. So we've got Blighted Bat or Horror of the Broken Lands again. Well, I'm looking for higher end, so I'm actually going to take the Horror. I may not end up playing them all. But again, they cycle for only 1 black, which is pretty decent. So if you have too many of them in your opening hand, or even one of them in your opening hand, and you don't have the mana, you can just cycle it away, keep drawing your cards, hit your land drops, then play the others as you get to 5 mana. So now we've got really only Painful Lesson. That's just not great. +1/+1 is just not a big enough effect. So we'll take Painful Lesson here. Again, we've got a few cycling cards. It may not even be necessary to play it, but usually happy to play one of that sort of effect in a deck. So just looking at the deck, I'm not overly happy with it at the moment. Got some good removal. It's got Final Reward, which deals with anything, including gods. Just nothing really powerful on the creature side of things. Really would like a bomb here. Or even just some of the -1/-1 counter synergy. Really not seeing much of that at all. So it's possible that someone else is drafting this deck, which is never a good thing. Although how Final Rewards got around like that, one from the right, one from the left, if someone else is in the deck. A little bit beyond me. Well, there's nothing here at all, so I'm just going to take the uncommon. Again, nothing, so we'll just take, we'll take the full art land. I like these full art lands. For Amonkhet, they're quite good. Pretty sure we're not going to be playing 3 Dune Beetles. So what do we got? Pretty sure we're not going to be playing that. Probably won't even play Miasmic Mummy in the end. It's just not great. It's probably okay in those black-red decks. It should be fine in those, but in our deck it's not going to be very good. Yep. May not play all the horrors though. We may. The rest of the deck's okay. Pouncing Cheetah. It's actually okay as a defensive card with Flash. It can come down and just kill an attacker. So it kind of acts like a 3 mana removal spell in that respect. Alright, now we really want to open a good bomb in pack 3. First couple of cards, we need some really good cards just to top this deck off. Amonkhet feels like a very bomby format. And there are a lot of bombs running around, and we don't have any. So we really would like to pick one up. It looks like we've had Tom Van Leeuwen go offline. This will slow things down a little bit while we wait for the MTGO to auto pick his cards for him or her. Hopefully they come back online shortly. Well, we got our it's an interesting card to think about. Actually not sure how good this is. It's not a bad combat trick. If you can Destined and lead in the same turn, you can basically win the game as well as not lose your creature. You can just make up a very good attack. So that's a 6 mana. We're looking at being a bit more of a defensive deck, but that might still be okay. I mean, our only other choices here are Splendid Agony, which is, again, like I said earlier, I mean, overly impressed with it. Or Wasteland Scorpion, which is, again, not too bad. Actually, that with Wasteland Scorpion is, well, it's not great, but it can kill 3 creatures. I haven't played with this yet, so I'm actually going to take it and test it. We'll see how that goes. Oh, there's a very good card, but we're not in that colour, so we won't be taking that. Trial of Ambition. So we've got 2 green cartouches and a trial, so that might be good. Our only other choice is a Bitterblade Warrior, which is fine, although Death Touch on an attacking creature is a little bit weird, but again, can work with Destined to lead. Spider Grasp, Shed Weakness, Giant Spider. Yeah, I'm going to take the trial. If we can then play some cartouches, we've got some pretty good control elements going on there. Another Dune Beetle. Embalmer's Tools is no good for us. Wow. That's a good card. But we won't be taking it. We can't play it. I guess it's just Giant Spider again here. And there's another very good card. So we've got Bone Picker and Festering Mummy. Bone Picker, I just like it. A 3/2 flying Death Touch for 4 mana is fine by itself. If we can get a creature killed in our turn, it's going to be 1 mana. It's basically a Death Touch. Delver of Secrets. So we're going to take Bone Picker. So I really don't think we actually need to play Electrify here. It's as good as it is. I don't think we need to stretch the mana base. Miasmic Mummy I don't think we need. Dune Beetle probably don't need. We'll keep 2 of them in just for the early defense. Leave the rest of that as is at the moment. See what else comes around. I'll put that Dune Beetle back in for a second. We can cut cards as we pick them if we think they're better. I don't know that we'll play. We've got a lot, and again they've got cycling, so they can almost. This is one way you can actually break it down to have a look. Cards with cycling, you can actually put them at their cycling cost, and they're just basically a spell that says draw a card for instant speed. So looking at that, our curve actually is pretty good. When you put them back up here, they're pretty useless. It looks pretty high, which it is, but we can get rid of them quite easily. What have we got? Manglehorn, which is really just a 2/2 for 3 Scathed Zombies in this format. More a constructed card than anything else. Another Pouncing Cheetah. We've got a Festering Mummy, which, again, for a defensive card could be okay here. It can shrink one of their creatures down. I don't really want another Dune Beetle. We've got Pouncing Cheetah as well. I'm actually going to take the Mummy and get rid of a Dune Beetle out of the deck at the moment. Druid's Deliverance, like I said before, with artifacts, not great. Oh, Ashra Cultivator is okay in the decks that have the -1/-1 counters. It actually wears them very, very well. It's not going to be attacking anyway, so it basically can wear up to 2 while still staying on the thing, and then you can, on the battlefield, and then you can just sacrifice it for value. I'm going to take the Wasteland Scorpion. Again, we're kind of defensive. We may take out Curse Minotaur is fine. Actually going to take out the Painful Lesson here. We've got enough card draw. The Wasteland Scorpion cycle as well. So I think we've got enough card draw here. That cycles, although we really want to play that. Yeah, look, I'm pretty certain at this point that black and green are getting pretty heavily drafted here. I'm not going to be playing Scarab Feast. That's something that's just not going to happen. So I am just going to take... Well, we've already got one if we need to. If we've got a really dedicated Embalm deck that we're coming up against. But I am just going to take Honored Crop Captain. And only because of the fact that it was the only uncommon in the pack. So I'm not overly thrilled with the deck. We're going to have to do our best to make it work. It's not a train wreck, but we really don't have a lot of great high power level cards, which is going to be an issue in this format, I think. I'm not confident that this deck's going to win much, but we'll do our best. We've got some good removal. That's a good thing. Trial of Ambition with 2 cartouches, which is removal in itself. It can potentially get 3 uses out of the trial. I've got 2 final rewards as well. A couple of the Wasteland Scorpions, which really stop your opponent from attacking unless they've got creatures they don't care about. Could be pretty decent. I'm just going to take Soul Stinger here. It can be a big body if I need it. 4/5 for 4 mana. And the Dune Beetles, or even the Festering Mummy, can actually wear the -1/-1 counters fine. Giant Spider can survive it. I'm actually going to take one of the spiders out at this point. I'm going to take Stinging Shot and put it in over Shed Weakness. Again, just another cycling card that we can get rid of if we need to. Happy to main deck this one. There's the white-blue decks. There's quite a few flyers that can actually take that, and it's permanent. It's not just -3/-3 until end of turn. It's -3/-3 for the rest of the game. And if we don't have a use for it, we can just cycle it away to draw a card. Cycling is a very, very powerful ability. People who have not played with it before probably don't realise just quite how powerful it can be. I'm just going to foil draft. Yeah, that's the thing about cycling. You want it on cards that basically are situational, like this one, or high mana cost, like this one, or this one. That way, if you're short on mana, you can just get rid of it. But it's powerful enough in the end just to play. So if you get to 5 mana, you can play it. If you have it in your opening hand, you can just get rid of it, draw another card, get up to your 5 mana, play it. We'll take another Dune Beetle. The Dune Beetles actually come in handy. We could actually bring more Dune Beetles in out of the sideboard if we're facing the white-red aggro deck, or even the black-red aggro deck. I'll definitely gum up the ground. Hopefully long enough for us to get some of our bigger stuff out. Not that we've got a lot of big stuff. It's going to be a bit of an issue. Again, probably not something we're going to play. I'm just going to take the mountain. I think this is going to be pretty close to our deck. We really don't have anything in here that I really want to bring in. We'll take Manglehorn. This card is definitely in the sideboard that we can use in certain matchups. Scarab Feast is fine against the Aftermath cards, or the Embalm deck. Dune Beetles, like I said, against the red-white or red-black aggro decks. Giant Spider is fine against the blue-white flying deck. Let's take another full art mountain. Manglehorn basically will never be used in this format. It looks like a sideboard card, but there's just really no artifacts that you really want to worry about. There's some, like in I can't think of the name of it, the one that taps down your creatures, prevents them from attacking. So we could bring it in if the opponent's got something like that, but really I can't really see much of a use for it. So pretty sure this is going to be the deck. We're not going to be... I'm pretty happy with that. There's nothing else we're going to bring in from our sideboard there. I'm not really happy with the power level of the deck. I don't think it's going to be fantastic. Just wait for this Wayward Drafter to finish. And then we'll have a look at the deck in a little bit more detail. Alright, here we go. So, we'll group it separately. So our creature curve is actually fine. As I said, these can actually almost count as 1 mana draw a card spells. Yeah, the curve is going to be okay. Looks like we want probably 9 swamps and 8 forest, maybe even 10 and 7. I don't normally like to do that, but with the cycling there, yeah, I think we want 10 and 7 here, and Magic Online agrees with us. It's always a good thing. Combine the groups. Alright, and that's going to be the deck. As I said, not brilliant. Not terrible, but I'm not overly confident that it's going to do a lot of winning, but we'll see how it goes. As I said, I'm not going to record the videos. There'll be a summary of the videos at the end of the article. Sorry, a summary of the games at the end of the article. You'll be able to see how the deck goes. Let me know if you've watched this all the way through. Let me know what you think of it. If there's any issues, anything I can improve on. I hope you've enjoyed the draft video and can read the articles, and I'll see you guys next time.